Okay, so how's everybody doing? So I just want to talk for a couple of minutes about foam. And I want to get one thing out of the way, because I know someone's going to ask for sure, why don't you use a hot wire? Okay, so I'm not going to get into the hot wire thing. I know all about it. In fact, I know that I have more experience than most model railroaders with hot wire and sculpting, because I did it in foam, like full time for like 11 hours a day for 10 years. So I don't want to get into it. But I'll just mention this before I carry on. Remember one thing, this is particles, harmless, right? It's not dust, they're particles. When you cut, slice and dice foam, you get particles that you can sweep up and vacuum. When you melt foam at any level, you're turning it into a gas, and that stuff is lethal. So I'm warning you, right? So you may not notice now, but you will later in life, because I know people that did it, and I know what happened to them. So I did it for a short while until First Nations carver that taught me how to carve foam showed me the error of my ways. Okay, thank goodness for that. So the one nice thing about carving with foam is you can take your time. You can do, like, you can chip away. You can even use a claw hammer. Like on big scale, I used to use claw hammers, crowbars, you know, whatever, but knives mostly. Okay, and I like to do that in the same way on a smaller scale, because for several reasons. For one, I can work on certain areas and it's healthy, and I can see the slope and all the texture, like all this texture. Like, you're not going to get that if you just slice it smooth. You're going to get it like when you cut lateral cuts like this, and then you come in like this, you're going to get all the undulations in the terrain that is in the real world. That's the nice thing about a knife, is I could virtually paint this with a heavy gesso and then just, like, we have to do any rock molds, like none. Okay? And it's not, like, I'm not breathing in like dust, which I don't sand foam either. I try to knife it all in, and then I cover it with fast mash. Okay? So that is why I do that. And I can basically, see how I can do this? I can take an Olfa knife. This is a 1-inch. I like to use a 1-inch because they're heavier, and I can, like, bend them and they don't break that easily. And I can basically shape and cut just as fast as a hot wire. And it's way safer as well on your lungs. And you'll get lots of texture that you wouldn't otherwise get with a hot wire. You're going to have to go back and do that if that's the way you're going to do it, okay? So that's why I do that. So you can see that basically this barn enclosing is going to be approximately in this position. There's going to be a road in here. I want to have, you know, like, there's a parking lot here and then kind of a road. This is my inspiration photo here that's just down the street from, not too far from where I live. The tracks are down here. And this is, I love this area up here. There's a farmhouse back here, but I'm just improvising this scene with the trees and this road. I want a kind of a curved road like this. Okay, so that's why I'm doing that. All right, so be safe with your hobby. Happy modeling, and I hope you have a great day.